time to carry on for a big day of anime. So many anime aired in such a short period of time, it's taken forever to catch up. But I've done so for the most part, and I've got my thoughts about the anime, and I'm going to share them with you now. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are though as well. So after I've reviewed these, let me know in the comments what you thought. Because, as ever, this is a 2020 winter anime preview, from a different perspective. First up today, we've got The Case Files of Jeweler Richard, an anime about a jeweler called Richard. Now I can't help but look at this title and draw comparisons to Lord Elmaloy's Case Files, given the name, and they're not too dissimilar in some ways, because from the first episode alone, Jeweler Richard appears to be very much not so much about the jewels themselves, but about the stories behind them, and the mysteries and the stories behind those jewels, which will be played out for all of us to see. Well, our main character, again, unlike the title character, is not Richard. It's a guy called Seigi, a guy whose name effectively means hero of justice, although he's got a story to tell. You see, after saving Richard from some muggers, he eventually finds out that Richard is a jeweller. He's got a jewel he needs to be valued, or well, not valued, again more on that in a moment. When Richard takes a look at it, he actually knows what the gem is and what the story is already, but wants to know what is going on. You see, if you take a stolen jewel to someone, are you trying to swap it for a tidy profit? Or are you having other motives? Because the jewel is indeed stolen, but it's not recently stolen. You see, it was actually Seigi's grandmother who stole it, way back when. Back in those days, the only way she could make money was to pickpocket, and one day, she saw this gem, and sort of distracted her and stolen her heart. She wanted to pickpocket this gem, and so she did. She took it straight off her finger of a woman who was wearing it. The next day, that woman jumped in front of a train. Thankfully, the woman survived, but she was never able to give a ring back. She felt guilty. In fact, she got arrested for it. Why, when arrested, she didn't give a ring back, I've no idea, but yeah. That sort of led to problems in Seigi's family and his upbringing, because his grandmother was a criminal, a thief, a pickpocket. His mother hated his grandmother. I mean, he liked his grandmother. I mean, his grandmother gave him a ring, after all, and told him a story. But, yeah. Of course, Seigi being a hero of justice, he hates his name. He hates being called a hero of justice, because kids always used to pick on him for it. But he really is a hero of justice. I mean, he helps people on the street, like he did with Richard. And so he finds out the story, finds out that Richard knows something about the gem. He asks Richard, can you help me find the owner? Because he wants to return the ring. After all these years of having a ring having been stolen, he wants to finally let his grandmother rest in peace and give a ring back. Of course, this is where the story really gets interesting, because by returning the ring, because Richard does know where it belongs to, there's a story there as well, he learns that everything has a meaning. In stealing that ring, his grandmother actually saved the owner of the ring from being married to a person she didn't love. When she jumped in front of a train, she wasn't doing so because she lost a ring, but because she was trying to escape from her fate. The wedding fell through, and thankfully she never married that man. And when she was in the hospital recovering, she met the man of her dreams, the Western doctor of the hospital. They fell in love, they got married, and she lived a happy, happy life. And so when presented a ring, the old lady says, "Keep it. And tell your grandmother something from me. Thank you." That really shook me a bit, because that really was an interesting story. I mean, it's cliched by no means, and who in my right mind would say keep the ring? I mean, it's worth a ton. But Seigi did keep it. I mean, he's not going to sell it, no matter how much Richard asked him. And because they sort of got to know each other, and because Richard likes the way that Seigi does business, Richard offered Seigi a job. And so that's where the story starts. Because Richard, being a famous jeweller, will be helping people in the future as well. That's why I think this is called a Case Files, because it's going to be him investigating jewelry-related stories. Is this one which is worth watching though? Depends on what sort of anime you want. If you want super hard action, skip it. If you want moe fun, skip it. If you want an interesting story and don't mind waiting around a little bit for it, this one might be a diamond in the rough. I might give it a few more episodes depending on what else is airing. If I'm overflowing with anime to watch, this one may get handed by the wayside, but it's worth a try. and Jewel Richard is airing over at Crunchyroll. In any other season, an anime like Uchitama would be a relatively unique thing, where animals are portrayed by actual normal people. Rather than being a little kitten, the main character Tama is a young boy. But in a season where we've also got Nekopara, it comes across as being samey. I am of course talking about Uchitama, Have You Seen My Tama? Now, Uchitama, unlike Nekopara, doesn't actually have the animals portrayed as actual humans in normal day-to-day life. They are really cats and dogs. Not just cats, just actual dogs here as well, like the main character Pochi, Tama's friend. Now to humans, the cats and dogs appear like cats and dogs, but in their general day-to-day activities, they appear to us as humans. And to me that just felt a bit weird, a weird duality. Are they actually full-size people who look like cats, or are they cats which look like full-size people to us? Do they really talk like that, or... It just felt a bit weird how they did that. And the thing which is weird to me is where this is really aimed at, because to me it looked, the character designs, especially the guys, look like they're for Joshi bait, but there's not really any kind of real shit pushing in the anime. I mean, suppose you could potentially put Tama and Pochi together because they always are, but they're not really pushing it that hard like we do with a lot of shows aimed at young ladies, let's put it that way. Instead we get a bunch of short stories based on these characters. These aren't new characters. Apparently Uchitama is an existing series. This is just the first one where they've turned into humans to do it. And again we've got an array of interesting characters, some of them cuter than others. Tama and Pochi are pretty much just friends going about their day-to-day business. You've got the beautiful cat from the cafe, Momo. You got the new kid on the block, Bull, who's apparently a scary bulldog, but it's not scary at all, to be honest. It's like a puppy dog. You got the cat which always gets stuck in high places. You've got the stray cat who lives underneath a house and is pretty much cool. Everybody loves him. Yeah. Being a series of short stories in an episode, I look at Uchitama and I think this should have been short. It shouldn't have been a 24-minute long episode. It should have been a series of 13-minute episodes. You'd run 2 a week, but rather than combining it into a long episode and just splitting it up, you could just made it short and it would have been just as good. And there's nothing wrong with Richard-shi. It's just not really left any impression on me whatsoever. I mean, the cats are cute, the stories are cute, and that's all it is, just cute. If you didn't want to watch Uchitama, this one is airing over at Funimation. Every single season, there's some kind of anime pop idol series. This time, we've got If My Favourite Pop Idol Made It to a Budokan, I Would Die. Because this is an anime which is not actually based on the idols themselves, but rather the fans. And that's quite a unique take for an anime like this, because it's not just following how the idols train and how they are cute and perfect and sing. It's looking at the fandom, and the fandom of idols in Japan is very much a questionable topic. They're always portrayed in anime as being big fat guys sweating all over the place. I can't have a handshake. Hand drooping with sweat. I mean, I'm not exactly a spring chicken myself, but looking at these guys wearing these big sweaty t-shirts, towels dripping sweat off them as well. I mean, they're dedicated, but a little bit creepy. And so to have an entire anime based on those fans, you risk insulting the people you're trying to sell the anime to. Thankfully, Budokan actually does it really well. One of the ways it does this is the main character, despite being an anime fan, isn't one of those big sweaty guys. It's a girl called Iripio, a girl wearing a pink tracksuit, hair tied back, relatively cute, but is very much an obsessive fan. And it focuses also on the band Cham Jam, a group of 7 girls, each of their own colours and personalities, portrayed by the idols. Of course, the quietest one and the least popular one is one that our girl really likes. Mina Ichi. She's the shy and reserved salmon pink, and where all the other girls have got flowers associated with their names and colours, they've got flowers attached to their clothes. Mina, with the name Salmon Pink, has hairpieces made to look like salmon roe, and a weird little salmon emblem. But it's cute, that's the main thing. And Mina is cute. even though she's shy and reserved. And despite being outspoken and being a huge fanatic, Aripio is also relatively shy and cute as well. She really wants to support Mina. She doesn't want to be friends with Mina, she just wants to support her, be there, encourage her, help her be as best as she can be. And the same is also true for some of the other guys as well. I mean, one of the other main guys is the big, sweaty, otaku idol fan, Kumasa. And he really does come across as the stereotypical idol fan. But again, even though he is big, sweaty and looks creepy, he's a nice guy. He's always there supporting people, supporting the fandom, not just the idols, bringing people together. I think that's where this anime is really going to shine. It's not so much about the idols, it's not so much about the music, it's about the fandom, and making the fandom, even though they look creepy and unapproachable, showing that these people are humans. They're not interested in idols because of sex. They want to support somebody, want to be part of something. And in that way, the Japanese idol boom is special, because it allows that support, even if it does come at the cost of buying multiple of the same CD in order to get a ticket to shake someone's hand. If it's to support the person they admire, not a person they love or like, but a person they want to support, then why not? As long as no one's getting hurt, albeit. Now, Budokan has a fine line to tread. It has to avoid being creepy. The moment it crosses that line is a moment I'll switch off. Because the last thing I want to see is anime fans being insulted, or idol fans in particular being insulted, over being too creepy, because that's a bit too close to home. Now, I wasn't sure how to rank this one because I enjoyed it, but it's not for everybody. This one was relatively mid-amber. I was going to put it right in the middle of the road until the final line. Because right at the end of the episode, one of the last things said is we see Mina with a photo between herself and Aripio. It's not the best photo, in fact it doesn't actually have Aripio in it at all. But as well as Aripio saying, I want you to do your best, Mina, and not being able to say it to Mina, Mina also says the same for Aripio. Thank you very much for supporting me. I look forward to seeing you next time. She doesn't say it to Aripio's face, because she's a shy and reserved one. She's salmon pink. And that softness, that thank you very much for supporting me, won me over. This one is also airing over at Funimation. Supernatural mysteries are a big part of any anime high school story. You always hear about the 7 mysteries of a school, the strange noise on a third step, the mirror you can see into but not out of, the mysterious window which doesn't have a room, or the strange sounds from the third stall of a girl's bathroom. And so is the case in Toilet Bound Hanakosan, an anime about a girl who decides to follow up one of those 7 wonders. You see, the wonder on her school about the Toilet Bound Hanakosan is about a strange noise you hear if you knock on the door of a third stall in a girl's bathroom after a certain time. You knock on the door and give it your wish will be granted, but it'll come with a curse. And she decides to follow it back because she's loved this guy for all her time in school, and he refuses to acknowledge her. She accuses her of having daikon thighs, which is kind of a sad way of putting it, to be honest, but yeah, he doesn't really deserve her because she's cute enough anyway. Our main character, Nene. And so she decides to follow up the thing, and Nene's sort of got a weird affinity to record, it seems, because rather than just knocking on the door and seeing nothing, she actually manages to summon Hanako from a girl's bathroom. And surprising everybody, Hanako, unless you watch the anime's title, isn't Hanako-san, but it's Hanako-kun. See, Hanako of a girl's bathroom is a boy. Why is in a girl's bathroom? Who knows? Maybe it's a pervert. Probably is actually. And he decides to offer Nene help and offer her wish to be granted. But it's not as if he just waves a magic wand and says, okay, now kiss. He actually tries to help her with more practical advice. Bad advice, but practical advice. Give him flowers because you're from a gardening committee. Well, she doesn't really grow flowers, she grows vegetables, so she just leaves vegetables in his desk, which doesn't leave a great impression. Leaves an anonymous message so he knows that somebody wants to give him vegetables. Tries confessing her love to him again and again fails, until she finds that someone else has started to confess her love to him, and he finally tells this other girl that actually there's somebody else he likes. just doesn't want to commit to anyone until that person commits to them, and loses faith. And so she takes up Hanako-kun's other offer of having mermaids, of having herself and the boy she admires partake in these mermaid scales. The mermaid scales are something which is not new to the story. They are a well-known part of mythology, a curse and a wish at the same time. And the curse does happen, because she does not want a curse in her life locked away. So she gets hit by all the curse herself and ends up turning into a fish. Thankfully, Hanako-kun hasn't yet granted her wish and refuses to let her be taken by the mermaid and saves her. But in doing so, she finds herself bound to Hanako-kun, who's now more visible, more touchable by her, even though he's still invisible to everybody else. And so this is going to be the story of Nene and Hanako-kun. And clearly Nene is going to grow feelings for Hanako because, yeah, it's kind of blatantly obvious there out in the open. And who knows, probably the girl the boyfriend liked is actually Nene as well, just didn't want to admit it. Maybe felt bad for calling her daikon thighs. But overall, this is a relatively sweet anime. It's not going to win any comedy awards, it's not going to win any drama awards either. So what you see is what you get, silly comedy anime involving supernatural beings. And if you were interested in watching Hanako-kun, you can find him airing over at Funimation. There were some honest surprises when I looked at the anime today, but not every anime surprised me to the same extent. How about yourself? Did they surprise you? And are there any anime coming forward which you're looking forward to as well? Let me know in the comments, and join me next time as I look at 4 more new anime airing this season. Until then, thanks for watching, bye bye.